Hey guys, Amber here from Cam Financial Coach, and I'm here to show you how the snowball method works for paying off your debt. So you've probably heard about the snowball method at least once before if you're a Dave Ramsey follower. He definitely preaches the snowball method, but some people just have a problem getting their mind around the concept. So I'm going to show you here and walk you through exactly what it means um, and how it works. So this is a simple worksheet that we created, and if you're interested in using this, you can go to camfinancialcoach.com/resources, and it's there as a free downloadable file, either in Word, as a PDF format you could print off and write in, or as a fillable PDF format. So I have the Word format up here. So the first thing you would do is you would list all of your debts. So I'm just going to list some fictional debts that you might have or you might not have. So this would be whatever you have as far as debt. So I'm just going to put a couple of things in here. And these are the first columns that you would fill out: the debt, the current balance, and the minimum payment that they require. So we've got our first one there. Now you'll notice that I'm listing the debts in order from least to greatest on balance. We'll just throw in a lower minimum payment there. So you can see that it's listed from least to greatest on your current balance. So how the snowball method works is you start by paying off this first debt. If you don't have anything extra in your budget to throw at your debt right now, then you're just making your minimum payment of $25 until that balance of $750 is paid off. Now, depending on your APR will depend on how long that takes. That's why it's so important to pay more than whatever the minimum payment is by either cutting in your budget or increasing your income through various means, either another job or selling things like that. But let's say that you didn't have anything extra and you're going to pay that $25 until the $750 is paid off. Once that first debt is paid off, you're going to take this $25 that you're paying, you don't have anything extra to put on it, and it's going to roll down into this next one. So we've paid off our line of credit, and now each month, instead of paying $75 on this credit card, we're going to be paying $100 because we add this $25 onto the minimum payment we were making here, which equals $100. Now, once this credit card is paid off, you do the same thing. You take this $100, which is the $25 from this one and the $75 from this one. You take this $100 and add it on to what you've been paying on the minimum for your car. So now each month you'll be paying $350 on your car instead of $250. And it'll go on to the last one. Once the car's paid off, that $350 you were paying on the car gets added to that minimum payment you've been paying on your student loan. So now your student loan, you're paying $500 per month. And that's the snowball method. It starts with a little bit, and as you keep adding things, the snowball gets bigger and bigger until you're paying huge amounts of money each month on specific loans. So that's also another reason why it's good to start with the smallest balance and go to the largest balance. It's going to, especially if you're only making the minimum payment, it's going to take a while to pay off that small one. But as the snowball gets rolling, instead of it taking longer and longer, it's going to take shorter and shorter because you have more money to throw at it. The only time where interest would come into play in the snowball method is if you have two debts that are relatively close in balance. So if our car loan and our student loan were both at 6,500, and the car's at 3% and the student loan is at 8%, then you could switch those around. Even if the student loan, I would say if they're within $1,000. So if the student loan was 7,000 or something, you could move that up above the car. Even though it's a higher balance, the APR is much higher, and they're so close that it's okay to switch those around. But otherwise, you wouldn't really calculate in what your APR is. The interest wouldn't matter in the snowball method. The reasoning behind that, another reason, is that as humans, we are motivated with victories. When you are trying to lose weight, if you see, 2 pounds come off the first week and 4 pounds come off the second week, you're going to feel motivated to keep going and push harder. You might even work out more, or watch what you're eating more as you see progression. Whereas if you don't lose anything for 6 weeks and then you lose 20 pounds, it's going to be really hard for you to stay motivated during that 6 weeks because you haven't seen any type of victory. You haven't hit any milestones. A lot of what paying off debt has to do with is our mindsets and our behavior. And so even though sometimes it makes more sense numbers wise to go from smallest interest rate to largest interest rate, that won't necessarily make sense in the fact that you may lose motivation if it's going to take you longer to pay off that first higher APR loan because it has a higher balance. So remember that paying off debt is not always about a numbers game. It's more so about changing your behavior and your mindset. There are other methods besides the snowball method that do look at the percentage rate that you're paying, and we'll touch on that in different videos on how to use those if you prefer to use those. But our recommendation here at CAM is to use the snowball method. It works. It worked for us. It's worked for thousands of families so far. And if you have any other questions on how the snowball method works, or would like CAM to help you make a plan for paying off your debt and laying out some plans for your financial future, you can contact us via email at charles@camfinancialcoach.com, or you can comment below this video and we will get right back to you. Thank you, guys.